That opening half an hour, was it the worst?
I mean, there's a lot of choice.
Yeah.
It's close. Probably is. Makes no difference, I suppose, what I say in terms of that, but it's just bad. The whole place is rotten to the core. Manager's finding that out big time. I mean, he knew there was problems, but he's walked into, I bet he can't believe, the unprofessionalism, the inability to deal with adversity, the inability to do the basics, inability to work hard, some of them, which was a problem before for the previous manager, who was culpable in his recruitment, but not the only one. And you know, you got a back five, right? You got two wing backs out there, and you got three centre backs who can't pick anybody up. You got Lisandro Martinez, who's he's been an absolute disaster of late. And whilst this club and this squad is absolutely horrible, it's just been assembled in such a horrible way that you have to look at the manager as well here and say, like, okay, you've come in with this stringent way of doing things, and a couple of the games your shape's been not too bad, but what are you going to do about figuring out getting some results? And also, when you look at who's culpable, he's also culpable, because any manager that sits down and thinks that he can play Christian Eriksen and Casemiro, who's gone, against one of the better, most informed midfields in the country at the moment, Newcastle are picking up a head of steam. Joe Linton, Sandro Tonali, Bruno Guimaraes, absolutely terrific. Will dominate games, can pass the ball for fun, can get about the field, and Joe Linton can get in the box. And yet, Robert, he still thinks he can go with this midfield. So it's not, some of it's down to him.
Absolutely down to him, because, and the fact that where he played Zirkzee, he played him sort of, I would say, through an inside.
Left side, from that left side of centre position, he pings that ball in and everyone's going, that's fantastic. Kind of one of the parts of the game that he was brought in for. But here's the deal, one of the most, and that's fine, left-sided player, pinging balls, starting. But the other side of the game is more important, and the defensive aspect of the game, he either makes rash and horrible and dangerous challenges, or he just gets out-muscled in the box, or he hasn't put himself in a good position. It's all very well having a left-sided player that can pass it, but you have to be able to defend as well. So
he's got by on previous occasions, and he's a World Cup winner, so you know he's obviously a decent player, but he's got by on aggression and throwing himself into tackles. He's not very quick, he's obviously not very good in the air, and at the moment he's not reading danger. That makes him a poor defender.
Ruben Amorim obviously has said, look, I've had no time to work with these players on my system. So it's a busy time of year, you know, we've had no time on the training ground, which I understand. But I'm like a broken record. Pereira comes in at Wolves and gets results straight away. You know,
particularly at the start, when I looked at this shape of Amorim, and I went, wait, this clearly they've had a couple of days working on this. And it's
that first game against Ipswich, they had good shape, didn't they?
Looked okay, they had a good shape at the Etihad. And so you looked at it and went, yeah, but it's sort of one step forward, two steps back here. And the difference is, you know, maybe players and Wolves have had their issues. Of course, there was a bit of infighting on the field before Gary Neal got the sack and results were poor. But maybe they're just a more willing group. Wolves it is.
But you said it as well. If you go in with Casemiro and Eriksen, with two central midfield players that can't run, and the opposition are going to play with three there, why did he not pick Mainu from the start of the game? It was too late. The damage had already been done. He had to play Mainu at the start because he's got more energy than one of those other players, and he couldn't play Zirkzee in that formation.
Zirkzee obviously taken off early.
Yeah, you can't blame. I mean, it's nothing to do with him. He's not good enough.
It's got to be hard though when your own fans are cheering that you're coming off, and then you're going.
I mean, that's just a horrible scenario to be in. But his manager has put him in that scenario because A, he's not